Hey, family tech man, how's your spirit? Talk to me. Tell me something good. See, I got them knickerbockers for the night. Goes along with the wall. What the topic is for the night? Going through the wall of adversity, accepting our responsibilities, and doing the right thing in our lives. Give me 1 second. Give y'all some time to come on in. Okay, here we go. Johnny's on.
Yo, what up, Rich?
What's up, baby boy?
Yo, I just been going through it, you know, because, my wife done bust out with something new. So, I'm arguing with her about it,
Uh huh.
but through adversity come change. So I slowed down,
Okay.
okay? I'm watching the game now.
I know. It started yet?
Yeah, it started.
Okay.
See, the game.
See, I got the
You know.
shirt on.
Oh!
You see, I got the shirt on
Where you get it from?
from my boy. Got the store on 125th.
Oh, I need a shirt like that.
Yeah, man.
Yo, because yesterday I was down on 34th Street and I ran into the mascot down there.
A word?
Yeah, I took a picture of him and all that.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I ran into the mascot.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
doing their thing.
Yo, they
No,
doing a thing. They
yeah,
3-1. Hopefully they take it tonight.
ain't no question. Be a beautiful thing. They beat them twice there already, so
Oh
yeah.
yeah. So hopefully it'll go down tonight.
Yeah.
Because New York never seen this yet.
53 years. It been 53 years
Yeah,
since
New
Walt
York
Crowd
never.
Frazier.
Yeah, New York never seen this yet.
Yeah.
So we gonna see what's gonna happen.
Inshallah.
Yeah. How you been doing though?
I'm cool, man. Take it easy. One day at a time.
Yo, one
Trying to
day at a time
trying to
and
make it work.
everything.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I can do.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I can do. One day at a time. You
One day
know,
at a time and
try to give a,
relax.
try to give a, the people a little bit of my wisdom.
Yo,
And
Rich, if nobody could do it, you could do it.
without a shadow of a doubt, inshallah.
Because you gotta act like they fiends and keep going at them. Okay? Act like they fiends, keep going at them until they be like, yo, cause you on all platforms now.
hmm
You on all platforms, so hopefully you're getting through the masses. Sorry,
See, but we
sorry,
can't
Jamin.
we can't treat them like fiends. We got to treat them like humans to help them to change. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying? If you treat them like fiends, they're gonna act like fiends. But if you treat them like humans, they're gonna act like humans. You know,
that is true.
you know, and that's what's most important.
Yeah.
So what you beefing about with the car? She don't let you drive?
I drove her one time and she argued with me, like, where was you at? I said, I drove around. She's like, you been gone 3 hours. I drove uptown. I drove uptown. I put the metal to the pedal.
You was
I
on the
drove
block?
uptown. Huh?
You went to the block?
Nah, I ain't go through that block. I was down all on 7th, um, 39th Street I went through, 40th Street I went through, drove through Mo Block. But Mo be on some real BS now.
Well,
He
what
be on
happened?
uh
All right, I got you. I got you. I got
Mo
you.
putting points on the stuff.
You ain't got to go no
Yeah,
further. You ain't got to go no further.
you know. So he be on some real BS. He like, I'm like, yo, Mo, I'm shopping with my kids. He like, yo. I'm like, I just threw him on block. Threw him on block. Cause Mo see the type of money but it is what it is.
Yeah.
How you doing though?
Man, I can't complain, man. Life is good, man. Just
Yo,
one day, one step, 1 minute, 1 second at a time. Just trying to
yeah,
keep doing what I got to do so I can be where I need to be. In the right time. Like I
yo,
said, I'm trying to get the fuck out of here in 2030.
yeah, yeah.
They trying to make this motherfucker to a slave country.
Yo, with Donald Trump, it's gonna be a slave country.
No,
And
it's just too many people that will revolt. It's too many people to revolt.
yo, and you
People,
you see you see what they did with Elon Musk, right?
well, they ran them out the country.
No, they made him a trillionaire.
Well, that don't matter. Like once you get to a certain level in money in life, it don't even matter. Once you become a billionaire, money don't even matter no more because you living off interest. You no longer living off the money. You're not
Money.
spending the money. Say if you got $1 billion, you're getting 15% interest on your money. That's 150 million a year. Once
Yeah,
you
yeah.
acquire everything that you needed in life, you ain't gonna spend 150 million a year. So your money's
Nah,
just gonna
nah,
keep growing.
nah. What can you buy with 150 million?
I mean,
Nothing.
no, but that's what I'm saying. Once you get everything you want, a house, cars, jewelry,
Yeah,
clothes, you know, a plane, a yacht, whatever. Once you get all that, now you got $1 billion plus all of that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So your money is just gonna increase.
yeah. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out why the helicopter. You hear the helicopter, right?
Nope. Oh
It's
yeah.
right there. Something must have happened.
Probably on the highway.
Nah, the highway's nowhere over here. Something probably happened on Merritt. Oh no, no, that's they facing farmers.
Okay.
Yeah, something
It
must
go
have happened.
it
Cause I'm
goes
trying,
down.
yo,
It
cause I'm
goes
trying,
down out there.
yo, I'm trying to figure out. Like it was shaking my house. I'm like, yo, what
Probably
the
was
hell
low.
happened? Oh my god, what the
So
hell
how did the
happened?
joint ride? How did it
Huh?
ride? How did it
Oh,
ride?
woo, woo! It rides smooth. You don't feel no bumps. You don't feel no bumps, no nothing like that. It rides smooth.
Mm.
Mm.
So now you want to get you one.
No, no, but I told my girl, I said, yo, that comes with two batteries. It comes with two batteries and everything you gotta get done, it gotta go to the car dealership.
Yeah.
You gotta go right to the car dealership.
It's electric.
Yeah. She like, ah man. So she got 30 days to take it back. So she might take it back. But I said, yo, the oil change alone is $250. She like, oh, I ain't know that. I'm
Yeah,
like,
she
yeah.
might she might well get a gas joint.
I said oil change alone is $250. The brakes alone is $900 for the back and $2,000 for the front. So she
Yeah, that's
so 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 she's really,
but it's brand new, so they ain't gonna need that for a couple years.
yeah.
You
But
know?
but we'll see. We'll see because she don't go nowhere. She only driving from here to work. Here
Yeah.
and work.
Yeah. So shit, that should have last her for fucking 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Here to work. Here to work. Here to work. That's it. Only time I'm taking it out is when the kids come back. When the kids come back from the Bahamas, cause when they come back from the Bahamas, we going to Dorney Park.
Hmm.
So I'm going to open it up, going to Dorney Park, Delaware Memorial Bridge. As soon as I pass that, we right there. We
No, you
right
gotta get
there.
you gotta get that ways. You gotta get that
Oh, oh,
ways.
oh, oh, Waze is already on my phone.
Yeah.
Waze is on my phone.
No, you gotta put it on the car.
Oh, oh, no, no, no. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
you're
put it in the
right.
car. You
Yeah,
put it on
you're
the
right.
dashboard in the car.
Yeah, they'll tell you everything. They right here.
tell you where speed traps at, where the lights at, where the police at, hiding, everything. You froze.
You heard me?
You froze.
Oh, oh, I got Larry Mo's car in my backyard.
Oh, cause he ain't paid the thing.
Nah, nah, nah. Um, he's saying something wrong with his license and all that. So I got his truck in my backyard with
That's
with
cool.
with no plates on the car, nothing like that.
Yeah, well, they can't fuck with it if it's in your yard
Yeah,
with the no
yeah, I
plate.
know that. I know that.
And all you gotta do is put a tarp over it. That's it.
Yeah, a tarp over it. A tarp over it. If it's out in the street, but it's in my backyard.
Yeah, no. You can still put a tarp over it in your backyard so they don't even look.
Nah, no cops come down this block.
Okay.
No, yo, firemen don't even come down this block. Only person come down this block is garbage man. Yep, that's it. Yep, garbage man.
Who
Yep.
winning?
San Antonio is up by 10.
Oh, he might try to let them
San,
win there and then go back to the city and bust their ass.
nah, they can't. They can't let them. They gonna finish it out tonight. They gonna finish it out tonight. You
Inshallah.
you understand? Yeah,
Hmm.
hopefully they finish it out tonight. But yo, I just called to let you know I'm still here.
All right, my brother.
Yeah, I told you about Cooley Rock, right?
No.
Yeah, he keep calling my phone, and I told him, I said, yo, you got to break it down to your brother. You got to tell him he got to start working on himself because he gonna get emotional and start crying and all of that. Because if he don't work on himself by the 30 days he's home, they're gonna be like, yo, you're not getting nothing back. Okay, the same way you told me, you was like, yo, start doing this, start doing that. In
No,
my
you got
kitchen,
therapy.
I
You
got
can't
therapy and
deny the
I started doing,
therapy. Yeah, because when
but
I
I
got
started doing
shot,
everything.
they sent me to a therapy hospital, and I had to start doing therapy like the second day.
Yeah, but you know something? They not doing that for your brother.
He's out the hospital, I heard.
Yeah, he's out the hospital and he ain't go for therapy. You know, I'm like,
Well,
why
he
he ain't go
gotta
for
go.
therapy?
I don't know. They probably doing something in the house. I don't know. I can't tell you.
You know, me neither.
All I
So
can
I
do is
told
pray
Cooley,
for him.
yeah, pray, because Cooley Wop said he gonna go down there and try to get him back up here.
Hmm.
I'm like, hey, I'm like, hey,
Yeah, 'cause he said his daughters. I think his Val said his daughters is mad because they want him up here so they could take care of him.
okay, yeah. Well, yo, hopefully he come back up here.
You know,
All right,
Allah.
hopefully,
Yeah, Allah. Only God knows. What's gonna happen.
yeah. Yep, only God knows. Leave it in God's hands. Okay?
That's it.
Okay, but I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you start doing your
All right, big boy.
broadcast.
All right,
All right.
I'm gonna finish up.
Okay.
All right, one. My boy Johnny. He's always exciting. Okay, we on part 3. This is episode 3. Appreciate the present. We've accepted the wound. We've worked on releasing what's been holding us back. And now we're talking about why it's still so hard to actually enjoy peace when it shows up. Here are 12 fresh reasons people run from present moments. 1, they associate calm with boredom or laziness. When your life is full of excitement, it's like people from the city, they can't go down south and live because it's too slow. And this is like part of it. Two, happiness feels unsafe because good things will always follow by something bad. And that's in a lot of people's lives. If you check, a lot of people have gone through traumas, after the happiness, and it comes something bad every time. So they associate whenever something good happens in their life that something bad is going to happen. It doesn't always have to be that way, but it's a trauma. This is why this platform is to help you get rid of the traumas of your past. And it's called Through Adversity Come Change by me, Rich Coleman. It's on Amazon. Putting the workbook, the textbook on Amazon. It should be there in the next couple days. I thought it was there already. I had to redo it. Then you have the Kindle, and then, like I said, we have this platform here. Number three, they fear losing their hypervigilance. It keeps them safe before, like how they were. You know, they feel safe being the way they were. And it doesn't feel safe outside of that character. They don't trust good feelings will last, so they reject them early. And this goes back to like the kid or the person grown up. They associate bad that's going to come after the good. So instead of being attached to people, they push them away sooner. So they don't get hurt because they've gone through it, and it, like I said, doesn't always work that way, but in their lives, for the most part, that's how it has happened in their lives. Five, peace makes them feel invisible, unimportant. A lot of people that are used to the spotlight, and when the spotlight isn't on them anymore, they feel like they're invisible, like nobody cares, or but it's all about here. you know how you feel about yourself comes from you, comes from here. Period. And the thing about it is, when you understand that, your peace is within you. You have to seek your peace. You have to go for your peace. It's not going to just come to you. It's actions that you must take in life in order for you to gain peace. And the only way you can gain peace is go through your adversities. And this is why it's called Through Adversity Comes Change. Your choices shape your adversities. Your adversities are your lessons to get you to your blessings. And that's just how life is. And you like I said, we all have a purpose. If we wasn't shit out, spit out, or swallowed, you're one out of billions that made it. So you have a purpose. The universe picked you. God picked you. So you just have to find your purpose. And it's only through your adversities, navigating your adversities, where you find your purpose, because your adversities are going to shape and mold the direction that God wants you to go in when you pay attention to get to what he wants you to have, because your adversities are going to make you strong enough to deal with whatever he has for you in the future. You know, Six, they worry that stop caring about important things if they too calm. Let me say that again. They worry they'll stop caring about important things if they're too calm. They feel like they're not on point, because they gain peace. And then once you're in peace long enough, you understand that, this is something that you've earned, so it's not like uh it just happened overnight. You have to go through a lot of things. You have to go through a lot of adversities to gain peace, you know, a lot, and I'm living proof of it. Seven, joy feels overwhelming to a nervous system used to chaos. I know you probably know people like that. Like, they can't be in an environment where things is like, they have to be in in the mix, and calm is like, yo, what's going on? It doesn't feel right. And these are learned behaviors that we have to break. You know, we have to unlearn, relearn, heal, learn the lies from the truth. So then we can come together and do something positive in life. And that's just how it is. You know, life goes on. 8, they're scared that if they relax, everything will fall apart. It's like the last one. 9, they've been taught that suffering builds character. And it does in some senses if you utilize it in the right way. But some suffering can lead to chaos, you know, anger, lashing out, all kinds of things. It all depends on how you deal with it. To make it a positive is the blessing. Because everything that God does is love. And if you follow that path, you're gonna be all right. 10, being present means facing how much time they've already lost. And that's a true story, because when you sit back and you realize how much of your life that you wasted, that you could have been doing a lot of productive things and making things happen in your life, uh and they don't, because my spirit is fantastic, my brother. How is your spirit? And I'm glad you called. I had to redo the textbook over again, and we had already done that, so I didn't understand why I had to do it over again. But I wound up having to do it over again, so I'm waiting to see if it's gonna pop up. I gotta wait and see if it's gonna pop up. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna check on that afterwards. Like I was saying, being present means facing how much time they've already lost. It helps me to understand, like after going through all that I've gone through and losing all the things that I've lost in my travels, how insignificant they were really in my life, and how peace is more important than all the monetary things. The only thing you can't get back is time, and that's what I wasted. But I didn't waste it because I utilized my time to do things positive, and that's why I'm doing positive things at this time now. So it's both a double-edged sword, but it makes you realize, like, man, I'm 61. I'm starting over at 61. When I could have quit when I was in my 30s and been all right, my 40s been all right. But it makes you reflect. And like I said, if I didn't go through what I went through, I wouldn't be who I am today. And I love who I am today. So I wouldn't change a thing in the world. Because if I changed something, I wouldn't be who I am. Like I said, I love me today. 11, they fear people will think they faked it if they seem too peaceful. And it's funny about that, right? Because a lot of times, you know, with all that I've gone through and what I go through, a lot of people don't understand how I can still be at peace, you know, and it's a blessing, to still be able to be at peace, after all that has transpired in my life. And it's about finding a safe place with the God of your creation and having an understanding with Him and knowing that whatever He wills will be and whatever He doesn't won't, you know. And one thing for sure, two things for certain, you can't go anywhere until He sent that angel of death for your soul. So you must live life to the best of your ability and live right, and this is why I do the right thing now. Like I said, I used to live the other side and I love this side better. It feels better, and it's a blessing, to be able to hear, after going through all I've been through. 12, they don't know what to do with their time and energy without drama, and that's a true story. Like I said, matter of fact, the kid I was talking about last night that used to fight was the guy that was just on the night, and his energy was crazy. If he couldn't be beating somebody up or fighting or play, he wasn't happy. But he was nice with it. So like I said, I used to have to, tell your whole stop. That's why learning to appreciate the presence is so important. This is the step where your healing helps you move from just surviving to actually feeling love and peace in your daily life. If this is a resounding with you, share this episode and follow the episode 4. Hopefully I'll see you there. Because, you know, um, I wanted to do the series because, like I said, I've been contemplating these things and looking up certain things to be able to dialogue that coincides with TAC, and it makes sense. It really does. It makes a lot of sense, that these things are what they are, and just life is it's going to life, whether we understand it or not. Life is going to be what it is, and we have to understand that. And that when we going through life's adversities, it's only through going through these adversities change takes place. And if we don't go through our adversities, we can never understand or see what life has for us in the future. You know, so this is why I always um try to have a good understanding of life so I can give you, and this is why a lot of times I give you my understanding of what I've gone through, because I can only give you from my experiences, you know. And like I said, I've been through quite a bit in my life, at 61 years old, starting off new with no family and being able to sustain my life and not uh, be bitter or feel that I deserve certain things. God puts things in my life that He wants me to have, and that's the blessing. That's the blessing when God makes a way for you out of nothing. That's when you can honestly say that, man, it's a beautiful thing. You know, it's a beautiful thing. And you just have to embrace that journey. A lot of us don't understand, man. Embracing our journey is understanding the path that we must take in life so that we can, grasp what it is that God has for us, and it's only through these things that, life takes shape, life changes, makes things happen. We just have to learn to understand that and just try to do the right thing in our lives. Like I said, I want the best for everybody. That's just how I was raised. That's just how I was raised. And there's nothing like, showing love, man. Nothing. Showing love is a beautiful thing, man. I thank God that I'm still, mentally stable, you know, because there's a lot of people I know that they don't have it no more. But, life goes on, but it's all about going through our adversities, making the changes we need to make. That's right. And doing the right thing with the rest of our lives. Whatever's in the past is the past. Let it go. The past is only a measuring stick for the things that you liked in life and didn't like. So you build boundaries. And the people who respect your boundaries, you accept. And the things that don't, you just let it go. If it don't apply, let it fly. I just want to help people to heal because it's needed in the world, not just in America, all over the world. And this is why I do what I do. It's not for nobody. It's for me. It helps me to heal. It helps me to stay sane, and do the right thing in my life. And I live right. I live right, and by the grace of God, man, I'm going to continue living right for the rest of my life, and like I said, man, my thing is, just doing the right thing with the rest of our lives, being able to see life for what it is and being able to accept your faults and living life the right way, and that's just how it is, and we just have to keep going and just understand that, everybody's not going to be in the same place, you know. You just have to understand when you see people for who they are in life for what it is, you don't judge. You just understand that's not where you are. And that's what it is. And it's not nothing of slight or disrespect or anything. It's just you understand that, where you at is different. I'm at a whole different place, man. I lost everything that a man can lose, you know. And it is what it is. Life still goes on. You just gotta keep getting up, putting your feet on that floor every day. Once you do that, you can't lose, you know. I wanted to when I put my feet on the floor, the devil say, damn, he awoke, because I'm gonna fuck his day up with some positive shit, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to give you all this blessing. Part four is tomorrow. Check me out. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be seeing the Knicks has won the game and they're the new champs. But if not, hey, it is what it is. It'll be 3-2. Hopefully it won't. Hopefully it'll be 4-1 and call it a night. Y'all have a blessed night. Thank y'all. Y'all stay blessed. Tac man out. All right, Scotty. One love. I'm gonna call you. Call me on the video after you sucker. Call me on the video. Yeah, I know. I know you seen it, Funk. All right, call me.